been registered Democrat. I worked, it's no secret, I worked in the Kerry campaign headquarters in 2004 because I had very strong feelings about George Bush.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah,
but
so that's not
the
the
idea
story,
was,
yeah.
you know, they didn't address the facts. They didn't.
They didn't.
They just said it's a lie. We're distorting the truth. And then you know what happened? Other reporters got in on the story. Heath Hosselman down in Las Cruces. He's an online reporter.
Well, the Las Cruces. Oh, he's a
Heath Hosselman on New Mexico politics is a fine reporter. He discovered, and I had these. I was sort of rolling out my story, you know, one step at a time. I did for the Christmas cards and the. Oh, she also paid for a driver to drive her to speeches.
Well,
to go to her house and to pick things up at Lieutenant Governor's house. But what happened is the story started coming out.
Well, she's got more money coming in. If she could call up Bill and say, "Hey, Bill, I'm a little low here. You know, we need to go to the Red Lobster."
Maybe. But what happened was another reporter got on it, and he found press releases written by this contract worker for the Kerry event, for the Kerry campaign committee, and for the Leonardo DiCaprio and Rob Reiner rally at UNM on November 2nd, right before
Leonardo was here, and I missed it.
Yeah, he missed it. Yeah, he was. All the girls were swooning at UNM.
But the point is that this is documentation. How are they going to be? And so what they're doing, it is a ploy to try to almost try to destroy your credibility, isn't it?
It was a rough week. I took a lot of arrows in my back, a lot of knocks to the head. People came after me. This is Diane Dennis, you know. And what happened at the end was I was proven accurate. The situation was even worse than my initial report. I knew it was. I was going to roll the stories out. And at the end, her chief of staff admitted that this was an inappropriate use of funds. They magnanimously refunded 4 days of work, without interest, by the way. If you owe the state money, you pay interest.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they tried to blame this poor young woman for submitting the invoices.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be the fall girl.
Now, what I want to know is, who do you think told her to work on the Leonardo DiCaprio event? Who do you think she gave remarks to that she drafted for the event? Who was she driving around? Who was she the public information officer for? Her invoices were approved personally by the deputy chief of staff of the lieutenant governor, who's a lawyer. And then they turn around and blame a young woman who's never worked in government before.
Oh, isn't this this is just the way it is? Someone that's helpless, that doesn't have the ability to defend themselves. Let's accuse them. They're going to be the ones that they did it, right? They're the ones that have the power, which we all know.
As though the lieutenant governor was a victim of this young woman.
I mean, Do public officials think that we are all complete idiots? I mean,
I'll let your viewers, reach their own.
Provide
their own. You judge
Why
TV.
You judge. Okay. It's just shocking.
But I'll have another report coming out on Thursday about what appear to be glaring irregularities in the documents and the records and the management of money.
Has anybody on the criminal side started to pick up on this? Are you aware of whether...
I'm not doing that, and I also think it's probably beyond the statute of limitations. I'm not sure. I'm not going to look at it.
Right.
This is with the I just get the documents, I spend the time, I drive to Santa Fe, I plow through them, and then I report what's in them, and we let events go where they go. Because I think the public has the right to know whether it's illegal or not. They have and I'm not saying any of it is, but they have the right to know how their money is being spent. Period. End of story.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, don't you think that if you're listening and you're watching right now, if you have a question that you would like to ask Mr. Scarantino, you can give us a call. The phone number is going to be on your television screen, and we appreciate calls this evening, and he will answer anything that you have. You can certainly give us a call this evening. And by the way, the website again, if you'd like to get a hold of Mr. Scarantino, if you have a story, if you know about corruption, give him a call. I had someone that I was working with who did a civil suit for a number of years that said that in order for him to talk to the, this is unrelated, but as an example, in order for him to talk to the head of risk management, he had to give the risk management's assistant $400 in order for that risk management person to address an issue that he had with a board here in the state of New Mexico. $400. Now, you know, little things like that.
Rather than call me,
all right,
the best way to get a hold of me is go to the website,
okay.
New Mexico,
spelled
right. out,
We've got New Mexico.
newmexico.watchdog.org, and up on the toolbar we have a tips button, and it will allow you to write an anonymous tip or give your name, and it will come to my email box. And I've been receiving dozens of tips already, many of them from state employees.
Well, what about Hector Balderas, who has recently written that there's anywhere from 20 to 50 agencies that have not even done an audit of their money. We're talking about money, we're talking about lost money, we're talking about misused money in the state of New Mexico. And now you have the auditor saying that there's a lot of delays in getting the verification of where our dollars are being spent. You have the story on Diane Dennis.
Well, let me say this about Hector Balderas, the state auditor, and I'm on KNME TV's In Focus, and I've already praised him. I think he is the first crusading state auditor we've seen in a long time. He's doing what he can. He has very, very few resources. You have to understand that. The legislature does not give the audit function of government enough money to do its job, and I think the crooks know that, and they're not counting on getting audited. If you want to fight corruption in this state, rather than an ethics panel that's not going to catch people like Manny Aragon, that's just a joke. Give the state auditor the money to do forensic audits on all state agencies.
You hit on something, a forensic audit.
Forensic audit.
What does that mean?
Forensic audit means something like what I did with these timesheets,
right, okay.
where instead of just looking at the financial statements that the agencies prepare and then spot checking to make sure, oh yeah, the total amount spent is this, the total amount in and out is this, you go and you look and say, well, wait a minute, what did they spend it on? Let's look at the invoices, let's look at the dates, let's look at the entries. That's a forensic audit. That's how Manny Aragon got caught.
Let me have you comment on a couple of things.
Sure.
Okay. Bill Richardson, they said that you know, that he was not completely exonerated from a criminal investigation, and there have been allegations that maybe Attorney General Eric Holder might have stepped in. Is this something you'd care to comment on?
No, I have no information on that one way or the other. The U.S. Attorney of New Mexico, Greg Farad, is a professional of the highest degree. He has got a terrific team. I don't have any information there are any shenanigans. I think those people are doing the best job they can.
Let's also ask you about this. Do we have a caller?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
What's your question tonight? Thanks for calling, by the way.
Hello?
Yes. Hello, you can shoot off your question right now. That'd be great.
Hello?
Yes, this is for Jim Scarantino. Do you have a question? Caller, you can ask the question now if you'd like.
Can you hear me?
We can.
That is Daniel Burke.
Okay, I can't hear you, but I think you probably can hear me.
Go ahead.
Jim, I know you on a professional level, and I have a couple tips for you. Actually, there seems to be a lot of corruption throughout law enforcement in New Mexico, but I've been looking at and uncovering a lot of corruption in Sandoval County, with the Sandoval County Sheriff's Department, with the Bernalillo Police Department, and Sheriff John Paul Trujillo and his predecessor.
If I can make a suggestion, we're having difficulty hearing you now. Go to newmexico.watchdog.org, click the tips button, and send me your tip with as much detailed information as you can.
All right, caller.
Okay, well, in looking at the cookie, there's some